like this and putting them on eBay. Is that something that people would buy? Would you want to wire your car up like this? This is the exciter wire. It can be 18 gauge. So we got 14 gauge wire. When you run into an issue where the heat shrink is too big or too small, just cut that blue thing off, or whatever color it is. Cut it right there. Nice. Beautiful. So here are all the wires needed for the charging system. We're going to wrap these in purple. Exciter wire, 18 gauge, charging wire, 10 gauge, and voltage sensing 10 gauge. So we are wiring straight to battery hot. You have to understand what you're doing or you can burn your car down. Notice we have a negative terminal unhooked from the battery. This is connected straight back to battery, but we don't connect it back up here.
You follow,
What you do is you run it to the battery wire on the starter lug. So yeah, you're gonna have two wires sticking out, wired like this. In a future video when we do the fuse box, we're gonna put a junction block right here, so that way you only have one 10 gauge wire running there. But there's nothing wrong, just add another one. If you don't want two of these, you can put two 10 gauge wires and a number 6 terminal, stick them both in there, make one crimp, and have double wires coming off. That's representing the fuse link, that's where you would fuse. Let's get it on there. They're wired like that so that you can see them in the video clearly. Charging lug, going back to the starter, you could run this wire back to the battery terminal, connect it right there if you want. They're wired like that so that you can see them in the video clearly. Charging lug, going back to the starter, you could run this wire back to the battery terminal, connect it right there if you wanted to do that. So then the smaller terminal is going to go on the alternator lug or stud. So then the stud, we also put the voltage sensing wire, and this is going to plug into voltage sensing on the alternator.
Okay.
Right. So now our exciter wire goes through the firewall back to the ignition switch. So then we plug this into the exciter position. It's under the voltage sensing on this alternator. So we're creating our own custom harness. So on the charging system, we only have one wire going into the dash, coming off the battery right here, joined, and then wired up to the alternator, just like the diagram. Take a close look at it.
Okay.
We're wrapping it up in this purple. In the next video, it'll be wrapped all the way through the firewall, and this one will be wrapped up better. That way, we're able to see the different circuits side by side. So our exciter wire through the firewall, hook it up to accessories on the switch. See the A for accessories. So notice we have IG left for ignition, and R, that is for our ignition system. And we're going to be wiring that up in the next video. So we'll also take them up in their colors through the firewall and under the dash, so you can see how the different systems branch off from the ignition switch. So in the next video, we're going to be doing the ignition system. It's going to be wrapped up in red and hooking all that stuff up. Charging system in purple, starter motor in yellow. So I apologize, we're not going to see a charge in this video, but we will probably in part 4 when we have the fuse box. It's wired up correctly, and even if you got one wire backwards, you just move it around. We'll test it all out in part 4 when we do the fuse box. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.
Snap out of it and get on the Stellar Dollar deal ASAP.
The flexibility of a Eubank offset for your renos. With the right loan, you'll feel right at home. Eubank.